Hello, and we'll be playing StarMade. This is basically a new game at Minecraft in space. It's in an alpha stage, but they got a fair bit going on. Just learned about it the last couple days, been playing around with it. I thought I might share a few early tips I've found. First of all, right now I'm just a guy floating in space outside a shop. They give you a few parts that you can start building a spaceship with. The first part is the core. To lay that down, you're going to need to press X, and that lets you type in a name of what you want to call. We'll call this ship A, just for argument's sake. There we go. So now that's the very basics of our ship. We need to keep part of this exposed because in order to get in and out of our ship, this is the block that we need to come up to and press R to get in. Now we're in our ship, although we're in build mode. So if I press spacebar, that'll switch between flight mode and build mode. And so now I can add blocks on while I can see the direction arrow of the direction my ship's going to be flying in. They give you a few blocks. There's some gray hull. Give you some structure. These are the power blocks. These are going to give your ship power for thrusters and weapons and shields and all the other devices you can find within the game. Then we have some thrusters. We can put some of those on. So now we can go a little bit faster. And there we go. So now I can start accelerating a lot faster than was able to before. What they also give us is a weapons computer and the antimatter cannons. These are your first starting basic weapons. You can align these in different ways. One thing to keep in mind is you want to put your computer down first and then your cannons, because then they'll automatically link to each other. You can make the guns, the longer you make the gun, the more powerful it is. We'll just try putting them on evenly here. So the way they're highlighted in purple, that means that they're aligned with the computer. So if we go in, that means we can just start shooting right away and go maybe blow some blocks on this asteroid. So it's going to do about 50 points of damage, so if I add more of these cannons on, they should do more damage. This is my understanding of it anyways. So, well, now 66. So, yeah, clearly it does some extra damage. Now, if you do forget to put the computer on first, and just put the guns down, see they don't highlight, and then if we put the computer down, they're not highlighted in purple, so they're not linked. So if I go and try and shoot, there's no, it actually says in the top right, no weapons connected to entry port. So if I find myself in this situation, you can select a block by pressing C, and that toggles it on or off, and then we can link it by pressing V, and so there, they start to highlight, and now they're all linked. So if it only seems to be shooting one. So maybe a bit of a graphical glitch there. It is still an early alpha, so I'm gonna turn them on and off. There we go. So now we got a couple cannons. Now one thing I've found is when you're starting out like this, going with the weapons actually really doesn't help you a whole lot. What we need to do is basically build our StarMade equivalent of a pickaxe. So I'm going to go back to the shop here, and we're going to sell our weapons and get a salvaging beam, basically. So by pressing B, I'm getting into the shop. There, so we want to actually just grab that weapons computer. We can sell that. We'll hang on to the hull for now. Under the ship tab, we're looking for a salvage computer, which you'll need a computer to link to every type of weapon system. So there's a weapons computer for the antimatter cannon, salvage computer for the salvage cannon, the Astro Technician and the Astro Tech Beam. These basically, it makes a beam that will heal damage. Kind of, I guess, helpful if you have a base or something that's under attack, and you can go and create a ship to repair it afterwards. And then a bunch of missile arrays. There's actually quite a variety in the different weapons. So we're just going to get a salvaging computer and as many of these salvage cannons as we can get. So they're out of the item. Oh, that's not good. So I just sold my weapons and I'm not able to get the cannon. Well, that's not good, so I'm going to actually have to go and find another shop somewhere. Alright. So I'm surrounded by a lot of bad guys. There, perhaps that's the shop we were just at. Probably. On the map, most of these brown things are asteroids. The blue one, that's my ship. The red ones are enemies, pirates, and early on they're not much fun to deal with. So I'm gonna have to go flying a bit. Now there's an asteroid, which I'd love to collect, but we have no collecting beams. The shops seem to have random items spawn at them. Generally, I always saw salvage beams when you first start a map, but it's not necessarily guaranteed, obviously, which make this a little more interesting. So there's a shop there. There's another shop. We'll try this one. Yeah, okay, that one's, so there's got to be a different shop. See, all these asteroids would love to be mining, but we'll have to get our beams first. So we're almost there now. Yeah, you can switch to build mode, although you start to slow down. Up on the top, you see the speed at 49.9. That seems to be the top speed of any ship, no matter how many engines. The number of engines seems to affect the acceleration and turn rate that you have. So, although the more blocks you have on, the more mass, and the slower they turn. So you're always sort of trying to find the right balance. So maybe we'll have some luck here, and we'll buy some salvage cannons. There we go. And we're in luck. Alright, so I'm trying to buy as many as I can. 76. Alright, that's fair. Alright. So now I'm going to put our salvage computer on. I want to put that in behind the core. And we'll put the last energy block there. And now, in order to be separate beams, for example, they need to be separated. So I'm going to make a big array of these, but as you see, the more blocks you have on, the better they'll do. If we can find an asteroid here, should be one. Should be one close by. There's one. Alright. Oh, look, a purple asteroid. That'll be interesting. Alright. So right now we have just sort of some 1 blocks. Now we'll need to add these to our hotbar by pressing T. We can select the salvaging computer. 1. There we go. So right now they're just 1 block, and as you can see, you need to really hold them on there for a long time before some of those blocks start going into your inventory. So purple vine stuff. So that's just not going to do. We're going to need to add these a little, give them a little more oomph. Now I'm not quite sure whether they max out necessarily, but we'll make them fairly long here. So now, as you can see, it starts cutting through a lot quicker. And so we might as well lay down all the rest of these. And I want to make a big array of them. So you have a bunch of beams cutting through a planet, harvesting them. And then what we can do is take all these back to the shop and sell them and buy more of these beams so we can cut more of these asteroids up faster. Then once we have a ship that can collect stuff pretty quickly, what we want to do is start looking for, well, I like doing is start looking for an abandoned starbase, because that'll have a lot of parts that you can salvage and use to make a bigger ship that then you have a chance of actually fighting some pirates with. So as you can see, we got the starting of a StarMade pickaxe, and we can start collecting minerals from the planet and selling these back to the shop so that we can buy more things. So as you can see, there's a bit of a lab inside. So pretty simple ship design. As I buy more of these salvaging beams, I'll just add them on as arrays, and thereby being able to eat up a lot of these asteroids quicker. And in my next video, I'll hopefully do a little more advanced ship design. Thank you for watching.